Good morning and welcome back to another Monday Morning Coffee with Melissa. I'm your host, Melissa. Cheers. Okay, take one moment and think or say out loud at least one thing that you're grateful for. It could be anything. If you need to, pause the video. Take a few deep breaths and really get in the headspace of gratitude. Right now, I am super grateful for coffee beans, for gourmet coffee beans, the artisan coffee beans. We are big coffee connoisseurs in our home, as you guys probably already know if you follow me or know me personally. There's just something about a really great cup of coffee that just makes my world so much better. It's just so comforting to me. I grew up in a house where my parents they drank coffee, and that was what they did in the morning. They made coffee, and my mom would have the leftovers in the afternoon, and Papa Bob would do that. My mom's dad would do that. I remember when he was alive. He would do it and just reheat it in the microwave. So I feel like I grew up with that, and I developed a great taste for coffee early on. So I am incredibly grateful for all the artisan coffee roasters out there, because I tell you what, they roast some really good beans, some really, really good coffee beans. And we have a fun tradition with some of our friends where whenever each of us travel, we always bring back coffee beans for each other if we come across like a local coffee shop wherever we are. It's just something that we do, and we started it with another couple, and then it has kind of evolved into like a thing with more people, and it's just so much fun to kind of bring back a little taste of wherever we've been, to share it with our friends, to give them a little taste of it as well. And they do it for us too. And it's a lot of fun to do. So what are you grateful for? Say it out loud, say it in your head, whatever it is. So like you guys already know, my husband and I start our day with a cup of coffee together and expressing gratitude. So, all right. Let's dive right into the next Forrest Gump quote. I'm super excited about this one. This one has a really great metaphor to it. So the quote is, "There's an awful lot you can tell about a person by their shoes." End quote. I love, love, love this quote. This is probably one of my favorite Forrest Gump quotes because it's so true. So if you think about a person's shoes as being like their life's journey, like what they've been through, like the scars they have, the scuffs they have on them, are they worn out? Are the heels worn out? Or is the forefoot worn out? Like where are the shoes worn out? And this is how, like, if you learn more about who a person is, like who they really truly are, what their fears are, what their doubts are, and what they've been through, what was their childhood like, and what was their teenage years like, what was their home life like, what's their current home life like, what have they been through depending on, their age. And I'm not saying you have to dive deep into everyone's like childhood, traumatic experiences or anything, but to really understand who people are and why they are the way they are, why they react certain ways, it's really important. And it's a little bit easier to give them empathy when they're, blowing up at you for cutting you off, or on the road, they have really bad road rage for whatever reason. But this is one thing that whenever I start working with someone one-on-one from a health coaching perspective, and a little bit from a personal training perspective, but more so a health coaching perspective, is our first appointment is I have everyone fill out this detailed health questionnaire about their current health, their health history, their experience with a few experiences with their health journey, what they currently do, all that good stuff. That's really necessary. But really, the first coaching session, after I go through all that, I sit down and I write out thoughtful questions to ask my new coaching client to really kind of learn more about them and why they are the way they are, why they have the habits they have, how they developed them, and kind of what's going on in their mind and how they're feeling and what are their limiting beliefs, what stories are they telling themselves that aren't necessarily true. And this is really, really important because it really gives me an opportunity to learn how to coach them better, learn how to be the best coach I can be for them. Because really, you can formulate your life to your true authentic self. So you design your life around like what you want, what's important to you, what your values are. And also, like, you can create new habits. You don't have to change yourself completely. You don't have to be this fitness junkie who all of a sudden works out 7 days a week, 3 hours a day at the gym. You don't have to turn into that. If you don't like exercise, you're not a big fan of it, there are ways to get around that and ways to find physical activities that you do enjoy without turning into that quote unquote gym rat. You don't have to eat, really strict keto or really strict vegan. You don't have to do the extreme diets. There is some moderation, and there are things that you can do, like eating styles that you can customize, and this is really about being your true authentic self. Because honestly, when I'm coaching someone, I don't want them to change because I eat, because I eat animal products. If they don't want to eat animal products or they want to limit their animal products, awesome. I love that. Because here's the thing, you guys, you're not going to be happy doing what other people want you to do because they want you to do it. So really learning like where someone has been, like where have you been? Like what's happened in your life? Where have you quote unquote walked throughout your life? What do your shoes look like? Do they have scars on them? Like I said before, do they have scuffs on them? And this is really, it's just really fascinating to me to get to know people and to learn from other people too, to be inspired by other people based on their journey of life, what they've learned, what mistakes have they made. I've certainly made tons of mistakes in my life. I fail every single day of my life. I make mistakes every single day of my life. Some have been really, really big, and others, they're just little tiny mistakes during the day that don't just make a tiny itty bitty little dent. So I encourage you, if really sit down and get to know the people in your inner circle, like your immediate circle of influence. Learn more about why they are the way they are. Like learn more about where they have walked in their shoes and what their shoes look like now and why. And that will really help you. Hopefully it will be a humbling experience for you, and hopefully you will be able to give them more empathy for when they're going through a hard time and they're getting frustrated with something, or they're going off on you, or whatever the case may be. So, because people, we've all been through a lot. We all have stuff happen in our lives. So it's super, super important. I feel like if we all did that as a society, like we really sat down and had genuine conversations, genuine, authentic conversations with each other, this world would be a much better place. It doesn't mean we're going to agree on everything, because we're not. That's never, ever, ever, ever going to happen. And that's something we have to accept. There's always going to be at least two sides to a situation. So, but if we really sit down and get to know someone with an open mind and an open heart, the world would be so much better. We could respectfully disagree with people more often and not be going at it. And that's one of the reasons why I don't really like following politics, because it's just one party attacking another. That's all it is. Oh, so-and-so is going to do this and so-and-so is going to do that. And they're just blaming each other. But if we really all take responsibilities for our own life and say, this is what I feel like would be best, it'd be a whole new ball game. So that was kind of random. It was kind of rambling. I felt like I was rambling, but I hope you get the message that you can tell an awful lot about a person's shoes, according to Forrest Gump. So that's a Forrest Gump quote. So I encourage you, sit down with someone you know, and like get to know them, get to know why they are the way they are. Don't push them too much. Invite them to share whatever they feel like sharing with you. But this is really interesting. This is one of the reasons I love health coaching so much. Is for this very reason, because you really get to know and understand people better. So, all right, guys, enjoy your day, and don't forget to subscribe below. I'm super excited to have you part of our community, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.